Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Shield.com.
Guess who?
Us.
No, it's not Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Podcasting and streaming around the globe. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show just ahead from Painthouse. Yes, it's the one and only famous Randy Borcharding.
Famous.
Later, remember as a kid you used to go to the hobby shop and get a plastic model car
That's
and
what I
glue it
used to
together
do.
and paint it?
Yep.
Well, Jeff has a special story on model car building and how the hobby is doing today.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday for our live show.
Let's go right.
What did you say?
Right. You go
This way?
We're going to do this way.
Synchronized.
Why are we doing that?
Because
Synchronized.
I think what we need to do is to do the synchronized wave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other
While we're
hand
doing
Mars.
this.
The other hand Mars. Yeah,
Oh, this one.
That one.
All right. The other hand.
There you go.
Okay. Speaking of synchronized.
Prom wave.
Look who's going there.
Yeah. Look, it's Randy Borcharding.
Hello.
Hello.
Give me cat.
How are you?
Well,
you.
we're doing good. How are you doing up there in the country?
I'm all right. How y'all?
All right. Jeet yet?
Jeet,
T?
Randy.
What's up, fellas?
Well,
Yes.
we're just trying to get caught up with you and see what's going on
Yeah,
up
it's
there.
been a while. You've been busy.
Hey, we saw a little youngster popping in the view there.
Yeah, you
before
had a
I
helper.
know there's something in here. Who is
There's
this?
something in
Come on
there.
up.
Come out, wherever you are.
They're talking to you, buddy.
Oh,
there he is.
Now, is that an option for that year? It's an option for that year.
Yeah, you installed that?
It's a one of one. Yeah.
A one of one. Yeah. Priceless.
There you go.
Yeah, indeed. That is true.
So what is that? That's got to be a pickup
Looks
truck.
like a Chevy.
It is. It's kind of a
Ooh, look at
got
the flames.
Ooh, tub.
But here's
It's
the cool
tub,
part.
Jeff. He's hiding it.
Holy Toledo. What is that?
It's big.
That is a
It's not
blown
electric.
big block, a hemi-headed big block Chevy.
Hemi-headed big block Chevy. I didn't know they made Hemi heads for a Chevy.
Yeah, it's a thing. Arieth makes them. Cool. It's a cool package. The cool thing is it runs on 93 octane.
Really?
Yeah, the guy. It's his little fun driver. It doesn't have a roll cage, so they're not going to let it on the strip. And he just has fun with it. But man, it sounds wicked when you fire it up.
I was going to say, does it run
bet.
now?
It does. I don't want to be the guy to fire it up because there's a process. But
I
he
can
fired
only-
it up for us when he dropped it off, and you are not going to sneak around in this truck.
So don't come home at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to sneak in the driveway.
Don't tell me it's got open headers.
No. It's got exhausted. If you look at the right,
Yeah.
There.
I see it.
Yeah.
it's got exhausted, but it ain't doing much. I'll tell you that much.
How long have you had this? How long have you been working on it?
The truck just got here. We've been working on it for a while. We've got the fenders. It had we'll just call it a real fire flame job.
Oh.
And the front end got burned up. So we've repaired all that, and we're putting it all back together now.
Well, hopefully it's not going to catch fire again.
Well, agreed.
You know, I
Agreed.
think it needs suicide doors rather than the standard opening. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, that'd be all right. I'm not going to do it, but that'd be all right.
Be a good option. I like it.
Anyhow,
What else you got?
so, something fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll walk you over here.
Now, you say that's the customers. How long is the process that you've had it, and when's it going to be leaving?
It's been a process of months. I need to flip the camera around here. Sorry for my finger there. This one is, we just got it back from a buddy in Michigan who's helping us get all the drive line and the engine and tuning taken care of. This is a
55?
55 Chevy
Yeah.
Wow.
that
Two-door.
is on a Morrison independent rear suspension chassis. So it's fully independent chassis. It has the LT4 and 8-speed automatic that you would normally see in, say, a ZL1, modern ZL1 Camaro.
Yeah, header wrap and everything. Is that those wrapped headers?
Yeah, we've wrapped the headers. The exhaust is unwrapped, but it will get rewrapped because we did some mods to the exhaust. I didn't like how it sounded, so we've added this H-pipe back here in the back to sort of balance out the sound, get rid of some of the, just had that sort of old glass pack sound to it.
A little pop in it.
Which it did, and it was annoying, and I just didn't like it. But there you can see the fun part. That's the independent rear suspension.
Yeah, nice.
And anyway, it's a neat project.
How long have you had that one there?
Side. Pardon me?
How long has it been in the shop?
Gosh, I'm embarrassed to say it, but about 3 years over the course of time.
Yeah.
In and out kind of thing.
So are these going to be any special tricks with your special paint? Any creativity going on any of these?
Well, and this one, admittedly, no. This is a Porsche color. It's called chalk. And then a black roof. It'll kind of have hopefully a contemporary look without being too gaudy. One thing we did do, and it's hard to tell with it up in the air, but the wheel wells here, we raised them about 3 inches.
You did?
So, just enough that you can get the dang wheel off now. This big tire.
Let me ask you. Let's go into that for just a minute. So, how did you actually take off the lip and then reposition it, or did you make a new one?
The first option.
Reposition.
Yeah.
It was cut. A relief area was cut out. It was literally slid upward.
Yep.
And then you sort of fill in the gaps.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Sort of like chopping, but in reverse.
How do you?
Kind of.
I mean, do you do that work?
In this case, no. I sublet it out to a good friend of mine who no longer lives in Texas, sadly. But he's one of those guys that could take a flat sheet of metal and build you a Duesenberg.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
And it was right up his alley, and he did a beautiful job making it look like it belongs there.
I was
just going
to say, had you not pointed that out, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
No.
Because back in my day, they just took a cutting torch and just rounded it off with the wheel.
And
exactly.
a hammer and dolly.
That is a look I don't enjoy on these cars. On the drag strip, it's fine. But on these cars, when it's going to be on the street and it's got to look, somewhat original.
Well, yeah.
We didn't want to run that effect.
So is this a daily driver for this customer, or is this going to be a showpiece?
No, I wouldn't say a daily, but it is expected to perform and behave.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons I had it at my friend's shop in Michigan. He is a good friend with a fellow named Mark McPhail. Well, Mark McPhail used to run GM Performance for years, and he did all the tuning on this car. So not only did it make power, but he tuned it for drivability. The upshifting, the downshifting, just the manners that it has, and above and beyond the bonsai run,
Mm-hmm.
Is that why the headers are wrapped so far? I mean, you got them double wrapped. It looks like.
It's a look I like. I like the look of the. Let me get in the right spot here. I like the look of this Heat Shield Products wrap. It's not necessary from a corrosion standpoint. It's all stainless steel exhaust all the way through, but it's a heat control thing, and I kind of like how it looks.
Well, that's the only reason I've ever seen it was heat control, and I was just curious because I couldn't imagine it being heat, but it sounds like it's aesthetics and several reasons.
Randy, you said that you sent it up to your buddy in Michigan. I mean, you did you take it up there yourself, or did you put it on a car carrier and have it sent up there?
We took it in the new ATC trailer. It's something I enjoy doing. I like the road trips, so I don't mind doing that kind of stuff.
What is that, about a 1,400-mile trip?
Approximately.
Roughly, yeah.
And
about that.
when you got the right people on the job, it's well worth the effort.
So you waited while he did it, and then you towed it back?
My friend up there had the car for about a year doing wiring and other things the car needed. And then when it came time to tune it is when I went back. I was part of the tuning process just because I was fascinated to watch how it all happens. and then yes, hauled it back home.
Was it tuned on a dyno?
Yes, a chassis dyno.
Yep.
So one of the things I didn't think about, but is obviously critical, we had to make sure the rear wheels were aligned so that when we had it on the dyno, the thing went in a straight line.
Yeah.
Try to go sideways.
Yeah, trying to come off the dyno because it's not aligned up right.
So it had to be basically drivable to do the tune.
Indeed.
Randy, is there a dyno chassis dyno here in town that you use?
There are a couple. Heights Performance I've used in the past. There's another one, and I'm not quite sure if he's still there anymore, so I hesitate to throw the name out. But yeah, there are.
Well, I'm looking for a Corvette chassis dyno tuner.
That's Pites. He specializes in vets.
And what's his name?
Pites, Peitz, I believe it is.
Just like it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never guessed that.
Funny how that works. Anyway, he's really good, especially with these new C8s.
Well, I got a C5 with an LS1 in it. If he likes to go back to school,
he'll just it'll be memory lane for him.
Yeah, just a 10 millimeter. That's all he needs.
Certainly capable.
Okay, well, I'll have to. I'll get his number from you when we're off the air. But,
absolutely.
When you redo cars, do you typically do a chassis tune on these cars?
Yes, the answer is yes. Simply because drivability is of paramount importance to us. It's one thing to make horsepower, and that's cool and all, but if you want to get out and drive these things and use them and not regret getting in them and want to throw it back in the garage and walk away from it, it should be fun. It should be able to shift and brake and turn and do all the things we expect cars to do.
Correct.
That's the reason you put all this modern hardware in these old classic bodies.
Well, good point.
Yeah.
And I was wondering because so many times, well, I've got this this chip I'm going to put in my car, and it's an LS swap, and I'm going to put it in there. And for me, I come from the school of just guessing. Hey, this guy has this guy has that. I'm going to put that on my car. Then I don't really follow through with things like a chassis tune.
Or will it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And thank gosh for people that know how to do the tuning, because it's above my pay grade. And you find a good one, and he's worth his weight in race fuel.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. So what do you got elsewhere in the garage there for us to look at this morning?
I'll flip you back around here. This Cutlass I was pointing at a moment ago.
Yeah.
68 convertible.
It's been there a while.
It has. We're finally getting near ready to pull it off the chassis and get it into a paint job mode. It's a LS3, but dressed out like an Oldsmobile. So it'll appear to be an Oldsmobile, even though it's not.
I love the Oldsmobile gold paint on the engine.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. We're fitting up the radiator now. It's a Ron Davis unit. It has, it's called a PWM fan, which is what all the modern cars use. Pulse width modulation. Say that one time normal.
No, that's all right.
What it does is it think of it like a rheostat on the lighting in your home.
Yep.
It can speed up and slow down the fan motor, so it's not always just full blast.
Yep.
How often have you heard a car coming in the Saturday night cruise and all you hear is the fan going full blast?
Exactly, and the new cars don't do that.
And exactly correct. That's what the PWM setup allows that to be tuned, where it only uses the fan as it needs it. And then when you're going down the highway, it'll turn it off because you don't need it then either. That actually becomes a restriction.
Sure. That interesting car. So it's a convertible. When are you going to have it done? Next year?
I'd say end of this year. Maybe towards the end of this year. It all depends on how soon we can get into an upholstery shop. That's become a bottleneck in building cars. Is there's not a whole lot of fellas out there or ladies that, and certainly not in this area. If they're out there, I'd like to know about them. that can do the upholsteries we're needing in these projects.
You know, I've heard you say that before, and I know that your counterpart in the Hill Country, a couple of them actually, they have issues with that as well, keeping good upholsters, and then and when one leaves, finding another one that's at the level that they're looking for. Well, and some of these guys, I mean, some of them are young. Most of them are old because they've got the experience.
Right, and you've got a good upholsterer. They're going to stay busy, so it's going to be you're going to play a lot of games to get in there and get it done.
Well, I'm thinking, I'm thinking we need to have the Painthouse upholstery shop.
There you go.
I've tried. There's a couple folks through the years I've tried to convince to work out of our shop or help get them set up in the area, and I don't blame them. They don't want the heat, and neither do I at this point. But it's an art, just like all the metalwork is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And not that painting and mechanics isn't an art form of its own, but there is something special about a guy that can sew properly and understand comfort and aesthetics and making, for example, a big fella fit in a small space, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's just hard to find.
Well, you know, when you're talking about restorations and modifications at the level that you are, I mean, creativity plays a huge role in it, and you've got to be able to actually turn out not only the creative part of it, but the quality as well.
Absolutely. And that is the thing. We've had upholsteries done in the past where they were done out of Texas, out of our climate, and 3 or 4 or 5 years later, they're coming apart because they can't handle the heat and humidity.
Yeah.
So we work with folks that understand that.
And you know, it's funny because we don't think of that when I just want this material and I want to look this particular way. Let's not worry about what kind of thread that we use and the material that's underneath the seat.
Yeah, right. And it's kind of the same with paint and body work. Everybody sees the paint, but all the nothing matters more than what's underneath it and the foundation. And that's true in the upholstery world too. You can build a door panel out of aluminum or a nice high-end acrylic material, or you can build a door panel out of cardboard and wood. And one is going to last a lot longer than the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. How's Jen?
She's awesome. Way better than I deserve.
I know. Well, I was just going to say that. Well, please give her our love, and it's always great to talk to you. And we're looking forward to our next time to see the progress on the Oldsmobile.
Absolutely. Or on the pickup.
The pickup truck, too. Well, I got a feeling the pickup truck's going to be out of there before we talk to you again.
It should be gone by the end of this coming week, if we're on schedule.
Yeah. Well, I like the little rodent that you had there.
That little helper, yeah.
Good stuff. Randy, it's always great to talk to you, my friend. Thank you so much, and you take care. And, again, tell Jen we said hi, and I hope to run into you soon.
See you guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love talking
What
to
a guy.
You know, when I called him, I'd seen the pictures on Facebook of the boy. And I said, Randy I know that's not your son. Is that your grandson? I just never think of him being that old to have grandchildren, but he's got...
Just like me. You never think of me.
We think he was old, yeah. We all do. In fact, there's a lot of listeners out there that comment on that.
Yeah? About how young I am?
Oh, yeah.
That too, yeah.
You keep believing that.
I'm thinking, like we talked about at dinner last night, we need some of that... Paul Popeil spray-on hair. That's jet black.
We'll go right to the hair stuff, huh? Okay, all right, I got you.
Yeah, he's trying to deflect. He's deflecting.
And then we're going to take some tape. We're going to tape it off so at least he'll have some forehead left.
Oh, now he's getting personal.
Just the thought of that.
What color?
Jet black.
Okay.
Yeah, jet black.
We'll have Randy mix up a
black. Correct.
Randy mix me up a color of black for my hair.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, some Painthouse black.
There you go.
All right. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. And a new daily podcast is available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
And now for something completely different.
And
Jeff
out of
is going
control.
Jeff is going to do a commercial because we didn't get one for Keels and Wheels.
Yeah, Keels and Wheels is coming up May 4th and 5th. It's the 28th annual Keels and Wheels Concours d'Elegance. It is at the Lakewood Yacht Club in Seabrook, Texas, coming up very, very soon and just not too much longer. Tickets are $30 in advance through the website, which is www.keels-wheels.com. And then you got $40 at the gate. Students, $15, and children under 12 are free.
And you park off-site, and they bus you there.
Yeah,
and
they
there's
will.
no charge for that.
Houston Methodist Clear Lake outpatient building in Nassau Bay. And then they got some parking. They're parking at Bay Elementary School in Seabrook, just off of 146 in Seabrook. May 4th opens at 10 a.m. to 5 through Sunday, May 5th opens at 9 to 4.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I've got to do this.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have. Jeff's got a very special feature actually, when he told me he was going to do this, I thought, somewhere, and I have it. I don't have it with me right now, but I have the model car that I built back in the 60s that, because I was going to Meyer Speedway and seeing all the 55 Chevys run around there in the sportsman class, I wrecked it. And so what I did was I heated up the front end and I smashed it in so it looked like it had hit the fence head on, you know. So
then I got a story to that where years ago I had a little red wagon, a model Little Red Wagon.
Yep.
And we saw one. And
the Little Red Wagon,
which was a Dodge. And I think we saw it at like one of the events we were at. And I told Jason, I said, I like that car. I had one when I was a kid. I explained it to him. And lo and behold, I think it was a birthday or later on, he got me the Little Red Wagon model. He goes, Dad, I'll build it for you.
Oh, he built it.
Well, to this day, that car is on a shelf in his garage, still in the box. He hasn't built it yet.
It's like all the projects.
All the projects.
You know
he's got that 50 hot rod in there, too.
When you can't move anymore,
right,
and you need something to do,
right,
take it down and build it.
Yeah, we'll have to get a hold of him. He's got to take the dust off it. But anyways, just looking at it, and it's pretty good. So the story of injection mold plastic, which is polystyrene of scale models, begins in the early 50s when the two businessmen, Louis Glaser in America, founder of Revell. We all know that.
Yep.
And then Nicholas Cove, out of the England side of it, founder of Airfix. Independently, they decided to work with injection molding and put together suitable plastic pieces for glue. So they worked on it, and they came up with it. So it was pretty good. Model cars can be traced back to the early 1900s when the first original cars hit the road. It was after World War I, and the European model makers produced tin plate cars. And this was only for rich kids back then, in the 1900s.
Yes. Tin cars.
So as time passed, cars became increasingly popular among the hobbyists, and they started collecting them and customizing them. It was a hobby that required both patience and creativity, and an opportunity for individuals to express their passions for automobiles.
Golly, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's an excellent educational tool for children, hand-eye coordination, different types of models, and they get to, look at the automobiles.
See, I didn't think of it that way, but I get it. Uh-huh.
And then they're studying the replicas of, the dad's got a Pontiac and I've got a model of a Pontiac, whatever the case. So the hobby helped cultivate curiosity while encouraging some to seek out more information, like you melted the front end and pushed it in to make a custom crash.
Right.
So some may argue that the model car collecting is nothing more than a pastime, just no significant value. You're just wasting your days away. But it fosters positive values. Hobbies like model car collecting encourage people to be more motivated, like you, Mike, patient and detail-oriented, qualities that can help in their personal and professional lives. However, collectors still argue whether hand-built models or factory assemblies are worth the time spending it more, on that project or doing other things. So materials are part of the skilled artisans, as they call it, investing carefully. Artisans, artisans, sure.
Artisan is a well, I think.
Well, we're going to dip into that well and give attention to detail.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So the evolution came full scale. There are people that still do it. There are enthusiasts
Can you still
out there.
buy them?
You can. And here's the kicker. You can go to like a Hobby Lobby and find them. You're not going to find a scale model car that you see that we build today, like that one there, for under $30. Some are $40. They're online, some of the classics, for $200.
Whoa.
You're kidding me.
Like that right there, you can buy, if it's a classic and there's very hard to get hold of, they don't make anymore. People collect them, and you can buy one for around, $150 to $200.
They collect them unassembled.
They collect them in a box. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is Revell still in business?
Revell's still in business. AMT's still in business. There's a couple others out there. Some, I don't want to say off brands, but things I've never heard of, but you can still buy them.
Chinese or something.
Well, it could be. But you can go to your local hobby store or toy store or go to an event like we've been. At the
like Autorama, where they have a big swap meet.
Specifically Autorama, or the Corvette we did down in Galveston.
In fact, there was a guy that had nothing but models, and he was selling them.
And he had them in groups. Like, he had all the Chevys in a group. He had all the Fords in a group.
Yeah, I remember that now. I didn't stop and look at it.
You got time to do that, don't you, Mars?
Yeah.
He's got patience. He does.
He doesn't have time for that.
I've seen him. I've seen
a
him
dog named Patience once.
Did you?
Patience. That was the dog's name?
Yeah, that was the lady's name, too, on Support Your Local Sheriff, I think, or something.
Okay. Well,
I don't know about that.
James Garner.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Today's In Real Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Loopy Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station. Gulf Coast Auto Shield. We've got a car show coming up as Car Social, as we say, and I've finally got the spot loaded in here, so you're going to hear about that coming up. And Pro-Am Auto Accessories. We continue the In Real Time Car Talk Show right after this quick break. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggieland? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is having another car social Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. It's a car cruise-in like no other. Expect Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Corvettes, and the featured brand Porsche.
Get social at this special cruise-in event. You'll also see Gulf Coast Auto Shield's private workshop and learn about their many products and services. Questions are welcomed. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway near West Airport Boulevard, just south of the Southwest Freeway. The Car Social featuring Porsche takes place Saturday morning, May 18th from 8 to 11. Tell your friends, and no matter what car you have, bring it and enjoy this rare opportunity to see some of Houston's finest rides. In Wheel Time will bring its Car Talk show there too, so join us for another Car Social at Gulf Coast Auto Shield, Saturday morning, May 18th, 8 to 11 at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway. Visit gcautoshield.com to see the show flyer for more details. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.